Good morning, Heat Nation. It is the morning after. My name is Roy, the host of Happiness and My Worthless Half a Penny, which we should have an episode of this week still, in which I'll reveal why the name of Happiness, and I'll talk a little bit about where this idea came from and why do we do it at all. And I say we because I am the one recording the videos, writing the scripts and taking a look at the stats, but at the same time, it doesn't come without my discussions with Raf. It doesn't come without discussions before what I talk with other people that are close to my environment. And so and Raf spends a lot of time editing, making shorts, and also basically just talking about the Heat because that's his passion and he does it and he loves it just like I do, and that's why we do it. So it's the morning after the win, the heart attack win, the overtime win against the Mavericks. Now, I realized the last thumbnail said the struggling Mavericks. I don't know if the Mavericks are struggling as much as the Mavericks, now right now they're 9-8 and we are 7-7. We're back to 500. And they are close to being at 500. And their conference is pretty strong as opposed to our conference, which is the only reason why nobody has pressed the panic button. We are in one of those cross sections in which we are 100% 50%, right? 100% 50%, meaning we are 3-3 at home. We are 4-4 away. We are 2-2 against the West and 3-3, if not mistaken, against the East, or 4-4 against the East. And so it's 50% down across the line. It's not like we get to the 50% with a combination of numbers. No, we are exactly 50% at home, 50% away, 50% against the East, 50% against the West. But we beat the Mavericks and we stopped them from getting their fourth consecutive win against us. And we also broke their 4-game winning streak. Oh my God, I gotta take a haircut. Going to happen. In any case, here are the stats. Miami ended the night with 43% in field goal percentage. Took some while to get there too, but at least we finished it at 43% against 41.9%, right? And we had 34.1% from beyond the arc. Again, that increased highly toward the last quarter and then overtime. Versus 25% to the Mavericks. We shot the ball 107 times. Remember the 77 Timberwolves? We shot the ball 77 times. No, we shot the ball 107 times with 46 makes. They shot the ball 105 times with 44 makes, including, of course, overtime. But I said this is not going to be a tight game like the Timberwolves, that we're leveling below 100. This is going to be high pointage. It wasn't exactly high pointage. It was average pointage to end the game at 114 tied, but 123-118 win. It's definitely high pointage. So at least I got that part. I got Herro's numbers wrong. I got Highsmith's numbers wrong. I got Bam's and Butler's numbers kind of right when it comes to prize picks, which is fun. In all, the one item, the out rebounded us by only 2, right? 59-53, 3 more offensive rebounds, 15-12. 1 fewer defensive rebounds. They had 44, we had 45. We had 6 steals, they had 6 steals. We had 6 blocks, which is great for us. They had 9 blocks, which is what's supposed to be normal for them. In all, the one item that kept us in the game was the amount of shot attempts, even though we had both Herro and Bam lacking in efficiency. Yesterday, Bam was 8 of 20 from the field, and Herro was 8-25 from the field. A combined 16-45 effort. 16 made for 45 attempts from those two guys. And then you factor Butler into the equation, and you have Butler highly efficient with 11 out of 17. Going frequently to the free throw line, even though on a night that we shot 27 attempts and only made 17 at 63%. And they had 80% because they shot the ball 25 times and had 20 makes. And that was about to be a single-digit win with us missing layups and free throws, which was going to be incredibly unnerving for us. The starting lineup works, period. So these are my penny impressions. The starting lineup works, period. Okay, maybe we did get a version of Duncan Robinson that was 2019, 2020, or more so 2020, 21, in which he would just get in foul trouble, and that backcourt just cannot sustain itself. But Highsmith does balance it. And it's very interesting with Herro because he had 3 fouls in the second quarter, 5 fouls in the third quarter, and then no fouls at all. He played, I think, 18 minutes, 19 minutes in total. So very interesting about that he actually, the team actually managed to protect him after a certain point. But yes, absolutely. We don't want the extraneous fouling Duncan Robinson, and we haven't had him. So that's a good thing. I don't know what happened to Highsmith, right? Not feeling well. That's exactly what you expect from this franchise. Just not feeling well. They don't say what happened. Maybe he just hadn't had a concussion. Maybe he just had some stomach bug or just a bug in general. There's no scheduled time for when you're going to start feeling sick. And sometimes just the adrenaline rush can cause you feeling sick. But not feeling well, really heat, really. All right. In any case, Herro and Bam, as said before, they struggled, but they still put their numbers, right? Essential numbers. 19 points for Bam, 18 points for Herro. Bam also did very well from beyond the arc, 50%, 3 out of 6. And Butler was playoff Jimmy. Well, at least in the most essential stretches, he definitely was playoff Jimmy. Like Raf said, somebody tell him it's not playoffs yet. If you wanted a commitment from him in the regular season, these last 2 games were showing that he's up for the challenge. He may not be up for the challenge every time, but look, this is already consistently Jimmy Butler without Rozier to miss too much, handle the ball, what Jimmy Butler can do. And again, another night that he finished the regular time with 30 points, right? And got us the tie, which is another thing that is very interesting because they could have easily just attempted a 3-point shot to win or go home. No, if we're in this game, if we can get to overtime, if we can get this W, we need this W, let's get the dub. They did it, right? In the absence of a true point guard, we have both Burks and Larsson. And I kept saying, play Burks more. I know why he didn't play for 5 games. Every time he comes in, he brings a positive. 5 out of 9 field goals, 4 out of 8, another 50% from beyond the arc. The same thing with Larsson, by the way, 6 out of 8 field goals and 1 out of 2 from beyond the arc. And so you do have a great off-the-bench formula. Getting it together with Jaime Jaquez Jr., getting it together with Kevin Love, who not only helped in terms of points, but of course, 11 rebounds, and the way that he assists. It's not just the number of assists, but how well he assists, how well he does the full court pass, the full court lob, like literally a quarterback. So, a lot of positives. Fortunately, JRich seems to have lost minutes. We didn't see him play very much, about 6 minutes. But again, right, the nose, the mask, maybe he's a little bit bothered. I remember one time that he actually took the mask off in the last game that he played, and then they put it back on. But he also played about 9 minutes last game and about 6 minutes this game. So JRich losing minutes is not really what I was expecting. But he's going to have to play. And at least now it does seem like finally Spo got rid of JRich, who I'm not surprised would be traded by the trade deadline, because it's just right. I think that Spo really wanted JRich to be the guy that would be a good backup for Rozier, but it just didn't work. Every time JRich came in, he stunk the game up. And this is not the case with Burks. It's not the game with Larsson. When you have players that are not sticking up the game, you use them. You don't use the play. You don't keep trying, right? But Spo is Spo, and he kept trying for a long time. And all of a sudden, now we don't have JRich. I think that's a good thing. The first thing that I would say, that's a good thing that we have the same starting lineup, and then we don't have JRich coming off the bench. Instead, we have the likes of Burks and Larsson. Now we are preparing to face the Bucks. That's the NBA Cup. The Bucks are 2-0, and we are 1-1. And then we have the Hornets that are back-to-back. So the next episode of my Worthless Half a Penny is going to have a summary of the last 6 games, meaning from the Hornets until back to the first Pacers game. And that's going to happen only in the middle of the week. But until then, stay safe, stay dry, stay as happy as possible in this complicated world of ours. And let's go Heat.